Pioneer fans, Pioneer men's hockey is live and on the air. We are live from the Taylor Sportsplex, where it is your Pioneer men's varsity hockey team taking on Divine Child. And we do want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneer Hockey. That includes Align Chiropractic Center, Ann Arbor Door System, the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, Ann Arbor Running Company, the Ann Arbor T-Shirt Company, Big George's Home Appliance Mart, Burns Park Orthodontics, Carlisle Grill, Closetivity of Ann Arbor, Dean's Lawn Care and Lawnscaping, Detroit Wing Company, Demo's Deli and Donuts, DW Skate Shop, Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Felix Rudberg of Real Estate One, Franklin Templeton, Full Auto Custom Shop, Grace Shaber Dentistry, Hockey Intelligence, Huron Valley Electric, Kindling Creative, Liberty Dental, Dr. Kristen Johnson, DDS, Midwest Graphics, Nicosico America, Pick Research Solutions, Ron's Garage, Shannon Norman Coatry, DDS, PLLC, SBK Orthodontics, Stadium Hardware, Standard Printing, Steve Service, Terry Lloyd and Company, Real Estate Agent Angie Smith, the Washtenaw Dairy, the Wurzel Company, Howard Hanna, and Whitney Johnson Pilates. Thank you to all those folks who help support the team. Please help support those who help support the team. Pioneer is 1-13 on the season, coming off versus a loss last night versus Lenawee. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. That was a 5-2 loss. Taking a look at their what's happened since the beginning of this calendar year. They fell to Skyline 5-2, fell to Huron 4-2, fell to Chelsea 8-0, fell to Gross Eel 6-1, fell to Dexter 5-1. And Lenawee 5-2. Taking on Divine Child today, they will be at Jackson on 4 o'clock over on Saturday the 21st at Optimist Arena. We should have a crew out there. James Wiseman will be providing some minimal play-by-play on that one, as I will be at Yost Ice Arena at that same time. So trying to cover multiple games. Then they will welcome in next week, next Wednesday, on the 25th, Divine Child will show up at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. Then on the 28th, by the way, that's a 7:30 game on the 28th. It will be a 4:30 game at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. Roosevelt High School comes in. Then Grosse Ile stops by on the 31st of January. That's a 7:30 game. As a matter of fact, most of the games will remain after the Jackson Optimist Arena on Saturday. Most of them will be at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. We have 7 games at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. They are at Bedford on the 15th of February, and then it says to be determined, but they're at Plymouth on the 27th. That should be the Arctic edge of Canton, is typically where Plymouth and Canton play there. So that's the upcoming. Taking a look at what happened in the last game. Starting off in the first, it was a penalty to Lenawee. At 15:33, Bartlett went off for tripping. Then Pioneer got the first goal. That was at 11 minutes even, as Yang scored from Armstrong and Comuton, making it 1-0. Bartlett went off for roughing at 6:04, putting Pioneer on the power play. But Lenawee got their first goal shorthanded, as Bozic scored at 4:21. And Lenawee got another goal before the end of the period at 1:20. It was Barbara scoring, and Barbara made it 2-1, Lenawee with the lead. It started off with the Pioneer penalty in the second as Sanborn went off for interference at 10:42. Then it was a Lenawee goal as Carson Ritz scored at 9:53 from Barba and Bozic, that making it 1-3. There was a too many men on the ice penalty at 4:11. Zach Puckett served that penalty. Then there was a Pioneer penalty that with 38 seconds left, Miller went off. Then at the start of the third, Lenawee took a penalty at 15:21. Bartlett went off for tripping again. Then Pioneer got it to a point game at 12:59 as Wilkins scored from Sanborn, making it 3-2. Pioneer down by a goal. But less than a minute later, 59 seconds later, at the 12-minute mark, Lenawee scored as Bozic got a goal from Carson Ritz to make it 4-2. Then, less than 30 seconds after that, it was a Lenawee goal at 11:34 as McCarley scored to make it 5-2. That was the end of the scoring. Couple penalties left in that period. Pioneer took a penalty at 9:53 as Rowe went off for tripping. Then at 8:34, Yang went off for tripping. Lenawee took a penalty at 7:12 as Logan DeVito went off for a cross-check. Pioneer took a penalty at 4:28, elbowing to Ward. And then the final penalty, 3:31, Cameron Ritz for interference. So Pioneer fell 5-2 in that game. My unofficial points so far, and I think I'm missing one game now only, the Dexter game. But top in points is Comutin with 6 goals and 3 assists. Number 2 is going to be Sutton, who has 4 goals and 2 assists for 6 points. Wilkins has 5 points. He has 5 goals. And with 5 points for 5 assists is Sanborn, as well as 5 points for Armstrong on 1 goal and 4 assists. So all of them tied for the number 3 spot. Taking a look over at our opponents, and it looks like we actually get the ice at 6:50 because I've seen the teams around, but no one's hopped on the ice as of yet. So we'll have a little bit of time where we'll play some MHSAA PSAs, but Divine Child is 7-9 on the season. They started off with a win, 7-2 versus Riverview Cabrini, all the way back on November 7th. They fell to Grosseau 5-0, then beat Kalamazoo United 8-2 on November 25th. November 26th, they fell to Gibraltar Carlson 7-1. They had a losing streak, 4-game losing streak there, losing to Detroit Catholic Central on the 29th of November, 9-0, losing to University of Detroit Jesuit 4-0 on November 30th, and to Warren de La Salle 8-0 on the 3rd. They snapped that with the win versus Monroe St. Mary's Catholic Central 9-5. Lost 2 after that on December 13th and 16th. Fell to Gibraltar Carlson again 2-1, and to Riverview Cabrini by a single goal 4-3. They did beat Woodhaven by a score of 4-3. That on the 17th of December. Fell to Father Gabriel Richard. That was here at the Taylor Sportsplex. 3-2. Father Gabriel Richard won that one. Then they won 3 in a row, beating Wyandotte Roosevelt 9-8, beating Bishop Foley United back on the 12th 3-2, and beating Southgate United 7-0 back on the 16th. Their last game was versus Walled Lake Northern. That was over at Waterford. That was a loss 6-2, so they're coming in with a loss. Last game as a loss. They'll look to right that ship today. Hopefully Pioneer looking to get their first win of the calendar year today. In that game versus Walled Lake Northern had the first goal, the only goal in the first. It was 1-0 at the end of one. Then Divine Child scored in the second, so it was 1-1 at the end of one. But Walled Lake Northern exploded with 5 goals in the third to 1 for Divine Child, making it 6-2 at the end. Power plays not properly listed as it's 0-for-0 for both of those, despite Divine Child serving 4 penalty minutes, so go figure that one. Nothing reported for Walled Lake Northern here, as it has been tough. Not everyone filling out the information in the Sports Engine to filter on through the Michigan High School Hockey Hub, but we do have Divine Child's information. That's the important part. That's who we're playing. So McNamara had a goal. Wysocki had a goal. For 2 goals, 1 assist was to McNamara. So McNamara had a goal and an assist. So 2 goals, 1 assist, 4 penalty minutes, 2 to Ross and 2 to Jordan. And it is Tomaszewski played between the pipes. Tomaszewski, 51 minutes between the pipes, faced 38 shots on goal, saved 32 of those. Sorry, I just got a pronunciation correction on that, so I'm still trying to work it into my vocabulary. Taking a look at the top point getters for Divine Child, McNamara has 39 points. That's double what anyone else has on 20 goals and 19 assists. Number 2, and by the way, he is number 13 on your roster. Number 20, Ross, is at the number 2 spot. He has 17 points with 8 goals and 9 assists. Number 3 is DiDomenico, that with 15 points on 3 goals and 12 assists. Welsh has 12 points on 8 goals and 4 assists. And Stevens checking in at the number 5 spot with 11 points on 4 goals and 7 assists. Raven has played 1 game between the pipes for 22 minutes. It has mainly been Tomaszewski taking that. He has played 16 games, 767 minutes between the pipes, 7 wins, 9 losses, 570 shots on goal, 503 saves, 67 goals against for a 4.45 goals against average and an .882 save percentage. Taking a look at Divine Child when they score the most, well, the first period they are outscored 28-17, so that's minus 11 in the first period. Second period, it's a lot closer, 18 for Divine Child, 23 for the opponent, so that's minus 5. Then they're all even up in the third, 19 goals for Divine Child, 19 goals for their opponents. Divine Child has 2 goals in the overtime, none for the opponents, for 56 goals for Divine Child and 70 for the opponents. If you chip in 68 assists for Divine Child, that gives them 124 points. 79 assists for the opponents, giving them 143 points. And the power play statistics do not look correct there. Taking a look at the combined goalkeeper statistics for Divine Child, they have a 4.52 goals against average and an .881 save percentage. The opponents have a 2.97 goals against average and a .866 save percentage. So lower save percentage, less goals average per game. 4 shutouts versus Divine Child, as that is a little bit about both of these squads as Pioneer and Divine Child hop onto the ice. Take a look. Pioneer is in their road purple jerseys with the dark stripe across the middle. Numbers in white on the back and on the sleeves. Block A's on the front with Pioneer and block lettering across the bottom. They have their dark shorts and predominantly dark helmets, whereas Divine Child is in their white sweaters. They have the numbers in red on the back and on the sleeves. They have DEC on the front in their stylized logo. And then they have black pants, white socks, and predominantly black helmets for Divine Child. We'll step away, play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we will be back with your starting lineups, the national anthem, and the puck drop. You are watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the Health and Safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Again, we want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneer Men's Hockey. If you show up at the Ice Cube and pick up a program, you'll see all of them listed there. Also on the team's website, that includes Align Chiropractic Center, Ann Arbor Door Systems, the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, Ann Arbor Running Company, the Ann Arbor T-Shirt Company, Big George's Home Appliance Mart, Borns Park Orthodontics, Carlisle Grill, Closetivity of Ann Arbor, Dean's Lawn Care and Landscaping, the Detroit Wing Company, Demo's Deli and Donuts, DW Skate Shop, Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Felix Krebberg of Real Estate One, Franklin Templeton, Full Auto Custom Shop, Grease Shaver Dentistry, Hockey Intelligence, Huron Valley Electric, Kindling Creative, Liberty Dental, Dr. Christian Johnson, DDS, Midwest Graphics, Nico Seco America, Pick Research Solutions, Ron's Garage, Shannon Norman Coatry, DDSP LLC, SBK Orthodontics, Stadium Hardware, Standard Printing, Steve Service, Terry Lloyd and Company Real Estate Agent Angie Smith, Washtenaw Dairy, the Wurtzel Team, Howard Hanna, Whitney's Johnson's Pilates. Thank you very much to all those who support the team. Thank you, and if you could help support those who support the team, we would be very, very grateful. Again, Pioneer here at Divine Child today. Clock counting down 2 minutes and 23 seconds till we have our starting lineups and our national anthems, although we might have a ice resurfacing. Between then, we'll see. It's always a little bit of a wonderful surprise to see what happens before the game starts. Then Pioneer will be at Jackson at 4 o'clock on Saturday. We plan on having a broadcast. James Wiseman will have limited play-by-play for that one, but we will have video. And I will be at Yost Ice Arena later that day for Michigan women's hockey versus Penn State. Big game there. Just couldn't get from Jackson back to Yost in time. Divine Child will come in next week on Wednesday, the 25th at 7:30 over at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. Then on Saturday, the 28th at 4:30, Roosevelt High School will show up at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube to play Pioneer. And on Tuesday, the 31st at 7:30, Grosse Ile shows up at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. And that finishes out the month of January. Hard to believe we're already at the 19th of January. Feels like just yesterday the season was starting. 1 minute and 15 seconds left to go. Let's play a little push on and then a little bit of music, and we will be back with your starting lineups.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As both teams are picking up the pucks and getting things set, sounded like the public address announcer hopping on below us. The Pioneer coaches just left the bench, so it does look like we'll probably get a ice resurfacing once everything gets off the ice. So we'll play a little bit of music as Pioneer heads off the ice. So they'll resurface it with a fantastic Zamboni, and we will be right back. As they just finished with the ice resurfacing, coming out shortly should be the teams. And we will have the starting lineups and the national anthem, and then our puck drop. As again, both teams coming off losses in the last game, looking to get back on the winning ways. Pioneer fell to Lenawee 5-2, and it was pulling that up. Walled Lake Northern 6-2, beating Dearborn Divine Child. It's here at the Taylor Sportsplex. The officials head out onto the ice to get the nets put up on their mooring. As Pioneer comes out of their locker room, they'll head out onto the ice here, and there comes Divine Child, the Falcons, out on the ice to our left. As both squads getting ready to go with first period action. Pioneer will be skating from right to left here in this, the opening period. Pioneer again in their home purple jerseys. Divine Child in their home white jerseys. Everyone's skating around, getting warmed up, and we will have the officials got the doors closed. And now the public address announcer hops onto the mic. Starting lineups for Pioneer. Sanborn comes out on defense for Pioneer. As Edwards comes out on defense for Pioneer. Yang starting forward. Armstrong starting forward. And center starting is Go Mutant. Between the pipes is Cass. Now for Divine Child. DiDomenico coming out to the blue line. Also coming out is Zilke. Out is Jordan. Next forward, McNamara, as well as Stevens. And then it is Tomaszewski between the pipes. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. As both squads head over to the bench to get their safety equipment on, Cass heads down to the net to our right, getting set up. Tomaszewski will go down to our left. As we're about to have your starting puck drop, Pioneer at Dearborn Divine Child here at the Taylor Sportsplex. Home of Bell Tire Hockey, as you can tell from the nice big logo right and center. I think first game we ever did here was a Michigan women's hockey game versus Bell Tire over in the rink across the way. 17 minutes up on the clock as we get ready to go. Let's go Mutant in to take the face-off versus McNamara. And we are underway. The puck in along the far boards of the Pioneer zone. Edwards has that, banks it against the boards. That comes back, picked up by Stevens, trying to fire it out in front as Sanborn knocking it away. The puck comes back to the far point, bouncing puck, now pulled back into the neutral zone by Armstrong. As that went off of Jordan's skates, shot from the top of the far circle by Mutant, goes right back behind Tomaszewski. That puck out of play. 16:39 left to go here in the first. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That to the right of Tomaszewski. Mutant again in there versus McNamara. There's a shot from the slot. Save as Andrews got a nice shot from the high slot. Centering attempt got knocked down as the puck loose. Comes out, high slot, now top of the near circle, over to Mutant. Mutant has that poked away by Zielke as that comes all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Sanborn has it into the far corner, trying to avoid McNamara. Sanborn sends it ahead. That banked off of the near boards, racing over. DiDomenico chasing it. That will. Icing waved off, now coming ahead. DiDomenico has it down the far boards, over his own blue line, over center ice. DiDomenico and popped out to the far point. Now Wilkins gets it back out into the neutral zone. McNamara sets it up, gains the zone, top of the near circle. McNamara comes underneath the near circle, feeds it into the slot, and saved by Cass. 15:51 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Pioneer versus Divine Child. Face-off in the near face-off circle to Cass's left as Ward in to take the face-off. Ross on the other side for the Falcons. Is that puck loose on the near circle? Ross feeds it in along the end boards. Now it comes back behind the Pioneer goal. Trying to pull it off the boards. Quartet battling there as Rowe trying to get to it as well. Now in the far corner. Trying to pull it away. Ross in there. Ward, Sutton, and it comes away. Ross trying to get out in front. That tip back, top of the near far circle. Coming ahead with his Sutton. Sutton over center ice. Sutton gains the zone. Feeds it into the far corner. Picked up by Davis there underneath the far circle. Davis comes down the far boards. Davis feeds it down the near boards of the neutral zone. Trying to fire it ahead to Fawaz. And it comes all the way into the near corner as Fawaz and Wilkins battle in the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Trying to poke that away as Holt. Fawaz and peel that as it comes in along the end boards. Now Sanborn trying to tip that away, or Wilkins, before he gets put into the net. And that save by Cass. Put into the corner, excuse me. 14:53 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Face-off comes again to Kansas left in the near face-off circle. Looks like Ross will continue to take the face-off. Coming on for Pioneer, here comes Mutant on the other side. They get the players set where they need it to. That puck comes all the way back into the neutral zone. DiDomenico has it in along the far boards. Gets it to the Pioneer blue line. And pulled back by Fawaz. Now coming in, Ross chips it into the far corner of the Pioneer zone. Sanborn trying to knock that away from him. In along the end boards. Mutant poking away as they're battling right back behind Cass. Now Fawaz sends that puck to the far point to DiDomenico, and a save by Cass. The puck outside the far circle. As that one was chipped, now comes back to the far point. DiDomenico with the shot that just goes wide outside the near circle. Hudson trying to pull that away as the puck in along the near boards. Ross comes to the high slot, trying to fire it over along the far boards. Here comes Garcia over center ice. Garcia gains his own, drop pass, top of the far circle as Pioneer ridden off the puck. Now here comes Welsh all the way down the far boards into the Pioneer zone. Welsh on the far circle, shot! That went off the side of the net. Miller picks it up outside the far circle, trying to feed it ahead. That puck loose in along the end boards. Now rimmed around outside the near circle. Armstrong trying to get to it. Armstrong feeds it out. Jordan chasing it back into the neutral zone. Picked up there by O'Connell. O'Connell takes it back. between the circles, banks it out into the neutral zone. As Comuton trying to feed it into the zone, he gets knocked off the puck, but he manages to tip it away. Back to the Pioneer blue line. Sanborn feeds it down the far boards. Yang chasing it as it's outside the far circle. That's pulled back by Atani, back behind his own goal from the near side to the far side. Back into the neutral zone. That's swung to the Pioneer blue line, trying to tip it away as Friedman, as McNamara gets a shot away. That comes all the way back to the far point. Puck, top of the far circle, trying to pull it out. Pioneer, Armstrong gets it into the neutral zone. Now here comes Yang, trying to feed it deep into the Falcons' end, as that'll go into the near corner. Gathered up by O'Connell, as O'Connell trying to work his way free. The puck outside the near circle, now sent back into the neutral zone, where Friedman spins with it and fires it right back in, as Pioneer able to clear the zone. Here comes O'Connell down the near boards of the neutral zone, stops at his own blue line, backhands it ahead to McNamara, who gains the Pioneer zone. On the near circle, McNamara comes in, as that couldn't pull the trigger. The puck, top of the far circle. McNamara gets it over to Stevens. That pulled away by Ward, who goes back behind his own goal and feeds it outside the near circle for Armstrong. Armstrong feeds it ahead. Here comes Yang, who gains the zone, top of the near circle. Yang with a wrister and a save by Tomaszewski. 12:16 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Face-off in the near face-off circle, that to the right of Tomaszewski. As in to take the face-off is Holt. On the other side is McNamara, back to the near point. Shot there, and that went off of the side of the net, hit a post. Back behind DiDomenico, trying to pull that away. The puck top of the far circle, now into the neutral zone. Pioneer Sutton feeds it down the near boards. Wilkins takes it center ice, coming down the far boards of the neutral zone and gains the zone. Wilkins, top of the far circle, pulled back by McNamara into the far corner of his own zone, as that shipped right back behind the Divine Child goal. Into the near corner, 11:45 left to go here in the first. The puck all the way back to the Pioneer blue line. Sanborn sends ahead for Sutton, who fires it away. That grab by DiDomenico right at the near point. Sent back deep in along the end boards. DiDomenico picks it up right back behind Tomaszewski. DiDomenico lifting it all the way back through the neutral zone. Here comes McNamara, but offsides the call. The official was right there, and that will have it outside of the Pioneer zone in the near face-off circle. 11:24 left to go here in the first. Ross in to take the face-off for the Falcons. On the other side is Comuton. As puck drops, that one back. Davis bringing it down the far boards of the neutral zone. Backhands it deep outside the far circle. Rowe gets it back into the neutral zone as Davis back at his own blue line feeds it ahead. And gathered up. Ross backhands it over, trying to get it deep. Now Friedman chases it back behind his own goal. Banked off of the far boards, coming in, shot by Howard. Now coming into the slot. Battle for it there as the puck loose on the near circle. Here comes Pioneer, bringing it ahead is Armstrong. Armstrong gains his own, makes a move into the slot. Armstrong has that stick lifted outside the far circle. Comuton trying to pull it off of the boards. Howard there working hard as the puck comes back to the far point. Pulled coming the other direction. Here comes Ross into the Pioneer zone. Top of the far circle. Ross in with a shot. Save by Cass. As when Cass went down, the net came off of its moorings, so they'll stop action there. 10:34 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far at the Taylor Sportsplex. Face-off in the far face-off circle, as that is Holt in there versus Ross. As the puck outside the far circle brought ahead. Here comes Pioneer as that's fed into the near boards. Hudson chasing it as that's pulled back over. Jordan fires it back to the far point, held in, top of the far circle. Hudson trying to keep it in, backhands it. That pulled back over by DiDomenico. He fires it ahead. The puck loose at the Pioneer blue line. Ross trying to get it. That poked away by Sanborn. Back ahead, now racing with it. Here comes Garcia. Garcia puts it into the far corner. Pulled away by McNamara as he'll fire it outside the near circle. As battle for the puck. McNamara back there, now trying to get to it. DiDomenico in the far corner. Dak at the near point. Shot there by Sanborn. Save by Tomaszewski. That outside the far circle. Lifted ahead. The Falcons have it at center now. Firing it the other direction is Miller. That picked up top of the far circle. Jordan from his own blue line fires it ahead for McNamara. That flipped off of his stick and Pioneer fires it. That got stuck right in front of the Pioneer bench. All the way back into the far corner. Sanborn has it. Trying to avoid it. Stevenson steals it away. Centering attempt as that goes back into the far corner. As Zielke had it. Now there's a shot from the far point. Save by Cass. DiDomenico with a rocket blast from the far point. 9:14 left to go here in the first period. Scoreless so far between these two teams. Face off to Cass's right in the far face-off circle. Ward in there versus McNamara. As that puck gathered up as here comes Sutton over his own blue line. Sutton over center ice. Sutton gains his own, fires it back deep. That in along the end boards. Trying to pull it away as Wilkins into the far corner. Fires it back to the far point. Shot there. And goes outside the near circle. Now whipping it ahead, Stevens all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Icing waved off as Zielke trying to pick it up. Rowe battling in along the end boards, right back behind Cass. And tipped by Wilkins. Wilkins brings the puck down the near boards over his own blue line. Wilkins gains his own top of the near circle with a wrister and a save. Glove save by Tomaszewski. 8:35 left to go here in the first. Shots on goal, 5 for Divine Child, 5 for Pioneer. Face-off will be to Tomaszewski's right in the near face-off circle. As that looks like Stevens versus Comuton. The puck into the near corner. Trying to pull it away, Comuton. That pulled back by O'Connell. O'Connell sends it along the near boards. Now Stevens trying to get it out of the zone. Held in. Yang at the high slot. Yang comes back outside the near circle. He feeds it in along the boards into the far corner. Comuton trying to pull it there. Atani trying to fire it out of the zone as that slips back into the neutral zone. Fed over in along the near boards for Friedman, who backhands it all the way in along the end boards. O'Connell gathers it up there, coming down the far boards, ricochets it back into the neutral zone. Fired right back in by Pioneer as they touch up and avoid a delayed offsides. Atani has it underneath the far circle, now feeds it in along the near boards. That ahead to McNamara, who has it down the near boards of the neutral zone. Comuton trying to tip that away. Now Friedman trying to get it. Here comes McNamara into the slot. Shot! And able to make the save as Cass. Whistle blown. 7:35 left to go as that net again off of its moorings as Cass ends up sprawled down right in front of it. Able to stop a very nice opportunity for the Falcons. 7:35 left to go here in the first. Face off to Cass's left in the near face-off circle. Holt in to take the face-off. Ross on the other side. That puck loose, trying to pull it away outside the near circle. Ross has it, trying to feed it back to the near point. That pulled away by Hudson, who sweeps it into the neutral zone. DiDomenico fires it ahead. Welsh comes into the zone. Welsh, top of the near circle with a shot. Good job by Sanborn to get his stick in the way. That loose shot and a goal as that put in by Fawaz as the puck deflected right onto the near circle. Fawaz put it in just in the top left-hand corner. There wasn't much Cass could do about that one. And in the first period, it is a Divine Child goal. That at 7:16. As that was Fawaz. We'll see if there was any kind of assist on that one. And the puck deflected right on that near circle, and Fawaz with a perfectly placed shot. Face off in the near face or right at center ice, pulled away by Wilkins coming down the far boards. Wilkins gains his own top of the near circle. That fired all the way back to the near point. Sanborn rims it around the boards into the far corner. And trying to feed it ahead. The puck pinned outside the far circle as Wilkins trying to get to it. Unassisted goal by Fawaz. The puck right back behind the Divine Child goal. Jordan bringing it down the far boards. Jordan spins with it on that far circle, trying to lift it out of the zone. There's a shot by Wilkins and a save by Tomaszewski. 6:43 left to go here in the first. 1-0, Divine Child with the lead over Pioneer. They have the shot lead as well, 7-6. Face-off in the far face-off circle there to Tomaszewski's left. Ward in to take the face-off. McNamara on the other side. Now Ward will come off the ice, as looks like Comuton will come on to take that face-off. Sutton to Comuton's right. Wilkins to his left. That puck lifted right back behind the Divine Child goal. DiDomenico has it in along the near boards. Sutton feeds it back as that rims all the way outside the near circle. Wilkins trying to get it there. Held in at the near point. Now it slips all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Stopped by Cass, back behind his own goal. 6:25 left to go. Here in the first, the Falcons have the 1-0 lead as they fire it right through the slot. Comes back to the far point where O'Connell sends it in along the M boards. The puck outside the far circle, sent back as that slips into the neutral zone. Davis has it there, backhands it, and coming in with it is McNamara. He drop passes it, and that's sent right back to O'Connell at center ice. Coming down at his own blue line is Davis. He lifts it to center ice. That banked off of the near board and goes back into the near corner, but that will be icing as it was fired from the other side of center ice. 5:55 left to go here in the first. 1-0. Falcons with the lead over Pioneer. That face-off comes all the way back into the far circle of the Divine Child zone and to the left of Tomaszewski. And Ward in to take the face-off. McNamara on the other side. The puck into the far corner. Trying to pull that off of the boards. Battle for it as there's an upcoming whistle, and we'll have a penalty as the official's hand is raised. That at 5:49 penalty, and into the box goes Divine Child's Zielke as cross-check the call. Face-off in the far face-off circle, that to the left of Tomaszewski. Pioneer with the extra attacker for the next 2 minutes with 5:49 left to go here in the first. Wilkins in to take the face-off versus McNamara. As that puck brought back by Yang, back behind the goal, now underneath the near circle. Yang with it. Yang sends it outside the near circle over to Armstrong. Armstrong trying to feed it into the near corner. All the way back to the near point to Sanborn. Sanborn feeds it on the near circle to Yang. Yang into the near corner. That comes back. Bounces all the way out. Back to the far point. Comuton trying to hold it in. Now Wilkins comes high slot with a shot there. Save as it deflects into the near corner. O'Connell backhands it all the way back to the near point. Sanborn able to hold it in. Top of the near circle coming over. Here comes Yang in along the M boards. Yang into the near corner. Backhands it. Trying to fire it out in front. That puck comes back to the high slot. Now Sanborn with a shot that's sticked wide by Tomaszewski. On the far circle, Pioneer has it as Comuton over there. Here comes Wilkins outside, now top of the near circle. Wilkins with a shot, got deflected by the Falcons defense. Now that lifted back into the neutral zone. Sanborn feeds it in along the far boards. Comuton sending it ahead. That intercepted. Here comes McNamara into the zone. McNamara with a shot and a save by Cass. 47 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. 4:33 left to go here in the first. Here comes Armstrong outside the far circle. Now Armstrong has that tipped away into the far corner. Controlled there by Yang. Yang moves just outside the far circle, looking for a place to go with it. Yang feeds it into the far corner, trying to get it over to Armstrong. That puck brought ahead by Divine Child, bringing it. Here comes DiDomenico, who fires it. Shot on goal, stopped by Cass, who moves it to Wilkins in along the near boards. Knocked away by DiDomenico outside the near circle. Now top of the near circle with the wrister. Battle out in front. Cass with the save. The puck comes outside the far circle. All the way back to the far point. Welsh backhands it deep into the Pioneer zone, not letting it leave the zone. Back to full strength are the Falcons. 3:45 left to go here in the first. Pioneer down by a goal. Here comes Sutton with a blast from the blue line. Stopped there by Tomaszewski as D. Domenico rims it all the way around the boards outside the near circle. Trying to get to it is Friedman. That loose in the neutral zone. Now Ross heads back into his own zone. Fires it to Di Domenico over center ice. Gains the Pioneer zone in the high slot. There's a shot that goes up over the crossbar into the near corner. And pulled ahead. Here comes Pioneer. Hudson races to get it. Di Domenico picks it up and puts it right back into the neutral zone. Coming ahead with it is Fawaz. Fawaz, the lone goal scorer, trying to fire it out in front and covering it up is Cass. 3:03 left to go here in the first. 1-0. Falcons with the lead. That was a goal by Fawaz back at the 7:16 mark. Faceoff will be to Cass's left in the near faceoff circle. Holt in to take the faceoff for Pioneer. McNamara on the other side for the Falcons. That puck loose, top of the near circle, fed towards Cass, who covers it up. We'll have the puck drop again in the Pioneer zone in the near faceoff circle. Again, it's going to be Holt versus McNamara with 3:01 left to go. And puck loose on the near circle, coming away with it. Gordon trying to fire it at the goal, and Cass with the save. Shots on goal, 12 now for the Falcons, 6 for Pioneer. Face off again, Cass is left. As that puck loose, tipped back to the near point. Now O'Connell firing it in. Sticked outside the far circle. Here comes Garcia for Pioneer. Gets it all the way back into the Divine Child zone. O'Connell sends it down the near boards. McNamara trying to get it at center ice. Wilkins trying to tip it down the near boards and get it going the other direction. McNamara spins with it, gains the Pioneer zone, top of the near circle. Puck wouldn't settle down for him. Sanborn trying to knock it away in a centering attempt. Sticked away by Cass. Now coming down the near boards. Pioneer tips that all the way back into the neutral zone. And off of O'Connell, so no icing, as that'll be picked up back behind by Itani into the near corner. 2:17 left to go here in the first, as that'll be offsides. Comuton got it and tried to hold up for Pioneer to clear the zone, but the puck just wouldn't settle down for him. 2:13 left to go here in the first. 13 shots on goal for the Falcons, 6 for Pioneer. 1-0 Falcons with the lead. Face-off just outside the Falcons zone in the near face-off circle. As Comuton versus Ross. That's sent in as Yang trying to get it top of the near circle. Here comes Armstrong, who has it tipped away. The puck loose in the slot as Rowe trying to get a shot away. There's Comuton with a shot that got blocked. Comuton again, another shot that goes right through the slot. Picked up top of the near circle by Friedman. Backhanded shot and a save by Tomaszewski. 1 minute 55 seconds left to go here in the first. 1-0 Divine Child with the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle. As that puck, top of the near circle, coming back, backhanded into the near corner. Gathered by Jordan, who fires it all the way around the boards. Fawaz gets it into the neutral zone. Down the far boards, brought into the Pioneer zone, top of the far circle, coming in is Ross. Ross in the slot with a shot that just goes wide. The puck getting along the end boards into the near corner. Gathered up by Welsh, who fires it in front. Loose now on the near circle. Here comes Pioneer over their own blue line. Armstrong feeds it ahead for Yang and fired the other direction by Di Domenico. As that puck loose outside the far circle. Di Domenico trying to get it out of the zone as that's lifted down the far boards. Here comes Ross into the Pioneer zone. On the far circle, Ross. Wrister, that's saved by Cass. 1 minute 12 seconds left to go here in the first. 1-0, Falcons with the lead over Pioneer. Face-off in the far face-off circle. As that'll be McNamara in to take the face-off versus Ward. Sutton to Ward's left. Sanborn to his right. As that puck back into the neutral zone, O'Connell will set it up as Divine Child clears the zone and sent back in deep. Right back outside the far circle, intercepted by McNamara, but a whistle. That is going to be 59.7 seconds left to go. That's going to be a penalty. As that is a penalty to Divine Child. Charging. That is going to be Pioneer on the power play for the next 2 minutes, barring anything else happening. 59.7 seconds left to go here in the first. Face-off in the far face-off circle as Wilkins trying to put it back. Armstrong has it in the far corner. Armstrong back to the blue line to Wilkins. Wilkins feeds it top of the near circle for Sanborn with a shot. That loose out in front, trying to knock it in, and they fire it, put it in. Pioneer with the goal at 47.1 seconds left to go. I believe it was Yang. We will see. And at 47.1, as indeed I believe it was Yang who put it in. There was a scrum for it out in front as Tomaszewski had a stop but just couldn't get the rebound corralled, and Pioneer able to put it in and knot it all up at one apiece. Face off right at center as Ward sends it back to Wilkins. Wilkins at his own blue line. At broad end, coming down the far boards is Zelke. Has it. There's a shot by McNamara up into the netting as that was deflected. 37.6 seconds left to go here in the first. All knotted up at one apiece. Pioneer and the Falcons face off to Cass's left in the near face-off circle. In to take the face-off, McNamara versus Ward. That puck, top of the near circle, shot that got deflected out in front. The puck outside the far circle. Sutton trying to pull it away there. Sutton trying to feed it ahead. I just can't hear the public address announcer for the assist. That puck comes back. Wilkins has it right at the blue line. That trying to fire it back deep was the Falcons, and there's a whistle. Tripping call coming up to Pioneer. So penalty to Pioneer, that with 16.1 seconds left to go. As into the box goes Wilkins. Face off on the near face off circle, pulled into the near corner as Welsh has it. Underneath the far circle, back to the far point. McNamara with a shot that just goes wide. Outside the near circle, DiDomenico trying to get to it. Armstrong trying to peel it off the boards. 2 seconds, 1 second. And that will do it. 1 minute, 53 seconds left in the power play for the Falcons, coming back on the second period. But it's all knotted up at one apiece as Divine Child got the early scores. Fawaz scored at 7:16. Then it was Pioneer answering back as Yang scored with 47.1 seconds left to go. That a power play goal. We'll play a few messages from the MHSAA, give you an intermission scoreboard report. You're watching Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the Health and Safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
We're at the first intermission, all knotted up at 1 apiece, and it's time for our intermission scoreboard report. Scores from yesterday. Grand Rapids Catholic Central beat Mona Shores 4-0. As it was, we know about the Lenawee score in Pioneer. Milford beat Troy by 3 goals, 7-4. It was Gaylord with a 4-goal win over Petoskey, 5-1. Traverse City Central beat Traverse City West, 3-1. It was a 1-goal win by White Lake Lakeland over Flint Powers, 2-1. Chelsea shut out Skyline, 8-0. It was Brighton with a 2-goal win over Salem, 5-3. Ended up in a scoreless tie between Howe and Plymouth in overtime. Bay City with a 7-goal win over Midland Down, 9-2. It was West Ottawa beating Kennewa Hills, 7-4. Lumen Christi with a 2-goal win over Canton, 5-3. It was Big Rapids beating Cadillac, 3-1. Midland beating Mid-Michigan by 6 goals, 7-1. White Lake Northern beat Divine Child. We know about that one yesterday. Grand Blanc beat Farmington United 2-1. It was Grand Haven falling to Reed Spuffer, 3-1. Trenton topped Grosse Pointe South 5-2. It was Dexter with a 2-goal win over Huron, 6-4. Riverview Cabrini topped Grosse Ile 4-1. It was Heartland beating Livonia Stevenson by a goal, 4-3. Grand Rapids Christian topped East Grand Rapids by a score of 6-4. Granville with the 2-goal win over Rockford, 3-1. And Brother Rice got doubled up by Detroit Catholic Central, 6-3. As they're just finishing resurfacing the ice, we will be right back with second period action here. You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
17 minutes up on the clock as we're getting ready to go. All knotted up at 1 apiece. A goal by Fawaz. That at 7:16 put Divine Child up into the lead. Pioneer able to tie it up. That with 47.1 seconds left to go. Yang with the goal, couldn't catch the assist. We're getting ready to go. Pioneer going left to right. Divine Child right to left. Here in the second period, Divine Child has a 1 minute 43 second power play coming forward from the first period into this second period. So Pioneer will be shorthanded for the next 1 minute 43 seconds, barring anything else happening. Appreciate you watching. Thank you for cheering for either of these teams. Thank you for supporting these wonderful athletes. We will be back on air tomorrow with a pair of basketball games. Coming down, Ross has it outside the far circle as Sanborn trying to drive him wide. Welsh into the far corner of the Pioneer zone. Back outside the far circle, Stevens rims it around into the near corner. McNamara back at the near point, feeds it top of the far circle over to DiDomenico. Back to the far point. Now feeding it in along the end boards is Ross, back behind the Pioneer goal. And tipped away, Sanborn trying to pull it off of the far boards, back there battling with Welsh. Welsh into the near corner. Welsh feeds it underneath the far circle, or underneath the near circle. Ross has it. Ross all the way back to the far point to DiDomenico. On the far circle, Stevens with it, feeding it through the slot is Welsh. Could have caught the pipe And underneath the far circle, and a whistle, and it looks like that net came off of its moorings. As Cass with a powerful kick trying to get those pads out in front, and ends up knocking the net off of its moorings there. Face off in the far face-off circle. Cass, a fantastic baseball player and pitcher. We'll see him during the spring as well. Mutant in to take the face off. Looks like Stevens on the other side. Is that puck loose on the far circle? Shot by Stevens and a glove save by Cass. 50 seconds left to go in the power play for the Falcons. 16:06 left to go here in the second. 16 shots on goal for the Falcons, 8 for Pioneer as they'll face it off again in the far face-off circle. That puck back, top of the near circle as McNamara trying to feed it over into the far corner. DiDomenico pulls it back behind the Pioneer goal, trying to pull it off of the boards and all the way back to the near point to McNamara. It slips back into the neutral zone. McNamara over to Stevens down the far board of the neutral zone. Stevens gains the zone right at the far point. Stevens fires it back deep. 25 seconds left to go in the power play for Divine Child. McNamara comes high slot with a shot that got deflected by Sutton. All the way back, McNamara to his own blue line. Fades back into his own zone, trying to avoid pressure by Sutton. 11 seconds left in the power play. Here comes McNamara, top of the near circle. Now he goes, getting and shot. Saved by Cass. McNamara just off of the crease to the near side. Cass able to cover it up. Good shot and even a better save. 15:20 left to go here in the second. 4 seconds left to go in the power play for Divine Child. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle to Cass's right as Zielke in to take the face-off. That pulls through the slot, high slot, shot, and a save by Cass as another glove save by Cass, able to get a quick flash to the leather. Pioneer back to full strength, 15:15 left to go here in the second. Face-off again to Cass's right. Holt in to take the face-off versus Zielke. Comes back to the near point, now slips in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Battle forward as Davis chasing it back. Now O'Connell picks it up back behind his own goal. Stops underneath the near circle, bringing it ahead. Banks it off of the near boards as that'll go all the way back into the Pioneer end. Sanborn picks it up just underneath the near circle of his own zone as he arcs it high into the neutral zone. Davis at his own blue line banks it off the far boards. At grab, trying to fire it the other direction is Pioneer as the puck into the slot. Back to the far point. Pioneer trying to hold it in. At rifle down in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Brought in by Fawaz. Picked up by Sanborn back behind his own goal. Sanborn sends it down the near boards. Here comes Garcia over the blue line. Racing ahead with it is Holt. Top of the near circle. Holt drop pass over to Wilkins. Wilkins outside the near circle into the near corner. Wilkins has that chipped away as Davis feeds it outside the near circle, trying to get it out of the zone. Held in, but that hits the netting, and that will be a face-off inside of the Divine Child zone. 14:12 left to go here in the second. All knotted up at one apiece. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That Tomaszewski's left. Ward in to take the face-off. McNamara on the other side. Puck drops loose, and that pulled into the near corner by Sutton, who goes from the near side to the far side, back behind his own goal. Intercepted at the far circle. Now Divine Child trying to get it out of the zone. That tipped in. Sutton chases it into the near corner. Davis loses an edge, trying to pull that away. Wilkins trying to send it back outside the near circle over to Rowe. Puck wouldn't settle down. Now that comes all the way back. Davis back behind his own goal, comes over into the far corner of the Divine Child zone. Feeds ahead to Stevens, who backhands it. Now here comes Davis over his own blue line. Davis over center ice. That tip back as Davis will have to touch up to avoid a delayed offsides. McNamara brings it in, top of the far circle. McNamara trying to put it out in front. Shot! And a goal as McNamara fed it to Stevens just on the near corner, put it in, and Divine Child has the 2-1 lead. That with 13:25 left to go here in the second. goal by Divine Child. As that should have been 19 Stevens from McNamara. We'll see if I can hear the public address announcer. Cole Mutin in to take the face-off versus McNamara, who should have the assist on that goal. 2-1, Divine Child with the lead. The puck comes into the near corner, grabbing it. That fired all the way into the neutral zone. Sanborn down the far boards, rifles it right back into the Divine Child end. So O'Connell also got an assist on the goal as that puck brought all the way back out, coming in. Gordon gets it to McNamara, top of the near circle. McNamara goes back behind the goal, firing it out in front, right into the slot. That knocked away outside the near circle. Stevens. It got deflected all the way back in along the far boards of the neutral zone. DiDomenico drops back into his own zone. Banks it off the near boards. McNamara trying to get to it at the near point of the Pioneer zone. McNamara, two Pioneer players in front of him, sends it into the near corner. As battle there outside the near circle. Stevens comes around, shot, and they score. As putting it in is Gordon at the 12:26 mark. Gordon got it right. Again, just on that near corner of the crease and fired it in. And that makes it 3-1. Divine Child with the lead. 12:26 left to go. Here in the second. 2-goal lead by the Falcons. Two quick goals. Just about 59 seconds apart. Bringing it down the far boards. Rose sends it back deep into the Falcons' end. DiDomenico coming over his own blue line, over center ice. DiDomenico gains the zone, top of the near circle. DiDomenico with a wrister and a save by Cass. 12:11 left to go here in the second. 18 shots on goal by the Falcons, 8 by Pioneer. 3-1, Falcons with the lead. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle, that to the right of Cass. Holt in to take the face-off, Ross on the other side. Puck battle for it on the near circle as that's chipped right back behind the Pioneer goal outside the far circle. Pioneer trying to fire it. Stevens and McNamara on the assist to Gordon as that puck into the far corner, trying to knock it away is Friedman. Puck comes outside the far circle, now bringing it. Fawaz fires it, that pops loose on the near circle, wouldn't settle down. It's Pioneer trying to knock it out of the zone. That deflects off of a defender's leg. Backhanded as it goes into the far corner of the Pioneer zone. Welsh sends it on that far circle. Now gathered up. Here comes Friedman down the far boards over his own blue line. Friedman backhands it back deep. That goes right back behind Tomaszewski. Picking it up, going it the other direction is O'Connell. The puck right at center ice, down the far boards. Ross gains the Pioneer zone, top of the far circle. Deflected away as Garcia trying to pull it off of the far boards. Ross trying to pull that back, gets it back to the far point. Shot there by O'Connell, can't get through the traffic. Loose back to the far point. O'Connell again with the wrister. That went off of a pair of legs. Coming through the neutral zone. Here comes Pioneer. Racing ahead with it is Wilkins. He's ridden off the puck but picked up. Ward with a shot. O'Connell got his stick on it as Ward with a shot from outside the near circle. All the way back, top of the far circle. Pioneer into the far corner. The puck back to the near point, picked up by Sanborn there. Sanborn feeds it. Sutton chasing it back behind. Now Wilkins picks it up in the far corner. Loose, Welsh trying to pull it away as the puck slips back into the neutral zone. Wilkins trying to get it as that was knocked back by Fawaz. Now the puck in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Racing back, Sutton fires it back deep into the Divine Child zone. O'Connell trying to ride him off the puck. That puck right back behind the goal. Now O'Connell underneath the near circle. Gets it ahead to Fawaz. Trying to hold it in at the near point is Edwards. Picked up, now Ross comes along the far board. Stops there. Carries it over his own blue line. Ross over center ice, gains the zone, high slot, shot, saved by Cass. 9:53 left to go here in the second, 3-1. Falcons with the lead. They have doubled up the shots and more, 21 shots on goal. The Pioneers 19. Face-off to Cass's left in the far face-off circle. Stevens in to take the face-off versus Comuton. Yeah, puck loose on that far circle, pulled outside the far circle, coming ahead with it. Here comes Comuton over his own blue line, over center ice. Comuton gains his own top of the near circle with the wrister. That got deflected. Comuton with the shot. Is that loose and able to cover it up is Tomaszewski. Couple opportunities by Pioneer as Armstrong had it just out in front, but they couldn't get it past Comuton, who was sprawled in the crease. Couldn't get it past Tomaszewski, who was sprawled in the crease. He made a couple fantastic saves there. Comuton versus McNamara in the far face-off circle, pulled down in along the near boards. Hired ahead by Stevens. Here comes Miller outside the near circle for Pioneer. Puts it back into the neutral zone as it slips back into the Falcons' end. DiDomenico fires it right at the far point of his own zone, trying to get it to Jordan. Battle for it right in front of the Pioneer bench. Lift it back to the Pioneer blue line. Now trying to send it ahead was Comuton. Comuton right at center ice. Sweeps it into the Divine Child zone. DiDomenico picks it up and along the M boards. He lifts it and all the way down into the neutral zone. Gets it ahead to McNamara. McNamara outside the far circle. Comes right back behind the Pioneer goal from the far side to the near side. McNamara, top of the near circle, spins with it. McNamara feeds it. That comes in along the M board. Stevens trying to pick that up. Comuton trying to battle. Underneath the circle, that into the slot. Trying to poke it away as McNamara tried to get a stick on it. Now DiDomenico from the near point with the shot. Pad saved by Pioneer as the puck outside the near circle. Pulling it away as Stevens into the near corner. Comuton comes back behind his own goal from the near side to the far side. Launches it all the way down. And that will be icing and head right back into the Pioneer zone. But again, in high school hockey versus college and pro, they get a line change on icing. 8:22 left to go here in the second. 3-1, Divine Child in the lead. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Ross in there versus Holt, the puck underneath the far circle. Deflected out in front. Saved by Cass. 8:15 left to go here in the second. 22 shots on goal by the Falcons, 12 by Pioneer. 2-goal lead by the Falcons. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Puck loose on the far circle, trying to pull it away, and it sends outside the far circle. Hudson gets it back into the neutral zone as that comes all the way back. Davis has it on the far circle. Hudson trying to knock that away. Davis gets it down the far boards into the neutral zone. Pioneer trying to pull it back in as that puck just at the blue line. Knocked the other direction. Here comes O'Connell, who gets it into the Pioneer zone. O'Connell on the near circle. Now into the near corner. Back to the near point for Ross with the shot. That blocked by Holt, who goes into the far corner. Holt bringing it up, fires it. That tip by Pioneer. Hudson gets it as it slides right back behind Tomaszewski. That puck into the near corner, picked up by Garcia, firing it out in front loose. Ross gets it out of the slot, out of harm's way. Davis trying to get it out of the zone. Now that fired all the way down the ice. That'll be icing and head back into the Pioneer end, or into the Divine Child end, 7:22 left to go here in the second, 3-1. Divine Child with the lead. They had 2 goals, one at 13:25 by Stevens and one by Gordon at 12:26 to take the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Ward in to take the face-off versus McNamara. The puck into the near corner. Sutton trying to pull that away. Now Rowe digging as Davis trying to get it. That rimmed all the way outside the far circle. Stevens trying to pick it up there as Wilkins trying to lever it off of the boards. Stevens, it's over his own blue line, feeds it as that intercepted by Rowe at his own blue line and fed right back into the Falcon zone. Davis from the near circle fires it all the way down the ice. That will be icing and head right back into the Falcons end with 6:55 left to go here in the second. 3-1, Falcons with the lead here in the second. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That to Tomaszewski's left. Ward in to take the face-off. McNamara on the other side. Wilkins to Ward's left. And Sutton to his right. And puck into the near corner, sent back, top of the near circle, Rowe, that pulled away, headed the other direction is Zilke. Zilke in the high slot, now on the far circle with a shot and a save by Cass. Gets a glove save, 6:44 left to go here in the second. Face-off in the Pioneer zone, that'll be in the far face-off circle. As both teams will get line changes. Co-Mutant in to take the face-off. McNamara on the other side. As that puck loose on the far circle, got caught in the official's leg. Shot there by McNamara. And off the back of the net. Trying to pull it away. Comes outside the near circle. Yang with it there. Trying to get it out. Held in by DiDomenico. His shot got knocked down by Yang. Loose and along the end boards. Co-Mutant firing it, and held in at the near point, now rolls on edge all the way down into the Falcon zone, gathered up there by Jordan, who rifles it in along the far boards. Coming ahead with it, Stevens gets it over to McNamara in the high slot. McNamara covered up by Cass just to the far side of his crease. 6:11 left to go here in the second. 3-1, Falcons with the lead. Pioneer trying to cut into that lead, get it down to a 1-goal lead. Co-Mutant in to take the face-off versus Stevens. Divine Child will love to break this game wide open. The puck back behind the Pioneer goal, now into the far corner, trying to fire it ahead. That all the way back in along the far boards of the neutral zone. Armstrong brings it in, now gathered up the other way by McNamara. McNamara, top of the far circle in the Pioneer zone. Sanborn trying to knock him off the puck. McNamara underneath the near circle. Back to DiDomenico, top of the near circle. That fired all the way around. Armstrong trying to poke that. Jordan puts it into the far corner. The puck right back behind Cass. Now outside the near circle. Yang has it. Yang feeds it, banks it off the far boards, trying to get it over to Armstrong. Pulled back over by Jordan into the Divine Child zone. DiDomenico over his own blue line. Heads over center. DiDomenico has that poked away right at the Pioneer blue line as Divine Child has to touch up. Now bringing it in, that fired back by Zilke into the near corner. Sanborn with it there. Sanborn trying to get it outside the near circle, trying to lever it off of the boards. In there, Stevens trying to pull it off the boards as well. As that puck now tipped away as Zilke has it in along the end boards, pulled back by Stevens underneath the far circle. Stevens sends it right back over to Zilke underneath the near circle. On the top of the near circle, that's fired as save. Itani had a shot from the high slot. That comes all the way back outside the far circle, centering attempt. Picked up there, backhanded right through the slot. McNamara trying to get a stick on it. Puck wouldn't settle down as Co-Mutant rifles it around the near boards. Trying to poke it away as O'Connell trying to lever it off the near boards. Right back behind Cass. Sanborn trying to get it out of the zone. Itani holds it in at the far point. A puck in along the end boards, 4:20 left to go here in the second, 3-1. Falcons with the lead. That knocked down in the slot. Now Stevens hands it on the far circle. Back to Itani and slips outside of the zone as Divine Child has to reset and touch up. Picked up. Stevens brings it right back into the Pioneer zone. Fires it from the near side to the far side and along the end board. Sanborn trying to get it out of the zone. That poked all the way back into the Divine Child zone. Racing back to get it. In along the end boards is O'Connell. 3 minutes, 45 seconds left to go here in the second. That puck lifted, tipped out to center ice. Here comes McNamara, gains the Pioneer zone. That poked away from him into the near corner. McNamara with it outside the near circle. Trying to fire it back to Itani at the near point, but that slips back into the Falcon zone. Garcia back to cause some problems. That's sent right to the blue line. Now Sanborn has to wait for Pioneer to touch back up. That right back behind, picked up there by DiDomenico, coming down the far boards of his own zone. Avoids pressure, gets over his own blue line. DiDomenico loses an edge as that is a whistle, and that is going to be tripping Pioneer into the box. As that's going to be Garcia into the box. At 3:15, and the Falcons will have the power play for the next 2 minutes, barring any other action. Looks like Stevens in to take the face-off versus Sutton. That puck into the far corner. Welsh has it there. Sent outside the far circle. Stevens gets it back to the near point. Shot there by DiDomenico. Comes outside the near circle. Stevens hands it into the near corner. Firing it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Now lifted underneath the near circle. Trying to put it top of the far circle. DiDomenico with a shot. That knocked down by Cass. Here comes Sutton the other direction. Sutton fires it back deep. And into the near corner of the Falcons zone. Wilkins trying to get to it. Pulled away by McNamara, who comes on the far circle of his own zone. McNamara over center ice. McNamara gains his own top of the near circle. Now McNamara fires it top of the far circle over to DiDomenico with the wrister. And he scores. DiDomenico puts it in. Cass was screened. He never even saw it coming. And good job to tuck it in just inside of that the near post. 4-1 as DiDomenico with that goal, unless someone tipped it out in front. That was at 2:29 as it is a goal by Divine Child. Face-off right at center ice. Joe Mutin in to take the face-off. On the other side is Ilke. Comes back outside the near circle. Miller feeds it into the far corner as spinning with it Sanborn back behind his own goal. Sanborn trying to avoid pressure by Zilke. And loose top of the near circle now slips back into the neutral zone where Jordan feeds it to DiDomenico at the near point of his own zone. And through the near boards of the neutral zone, Zilke comes on the near circle trying to cut into the crease. I think that was McNamara on the assist, but I can't be sure. Coming, shot by Cole Mutin. Save as that comes all the way back to the far point. Held in by Sanborn with a blast. And can't get all the way through. Fired ahead by Howard. Held in at the far point. Now whipped again. And lifted back out into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to reset. Miller moves it back to Sanborn at his own blue line. Sanborn feeds it ahead. That tipped by Pioneer. Gathered up by DiDomenico, who had the last goal, as he rifles it into the neutral zone. Cole Mutin trying to grab it. Pulled away by Jordan. He feeds it down the near boards. Bringing it in is Ilke. Moves it over and picked up by Fawaz into the near corner. Fawaz in along the end boards. Pioneer chips it along the boards. That'll go all the way down the ice, and that'll be icing. 1 minute, 8 seconds left to go here in the second. 3-goal explosion here in the second by the Falcons, and Pioneer find themselves down by a trio of goals. 26 shots on goal for the Falcons, 13 by Pioneer. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle, that to the right of Cass. As McNamara in to take the face-off versus Holt. That comes ahead. Here comes Garcia into the zone. Garcia, high slot. Now top of the far circle with that shot. And tipped away as Holt trying to get to it. As Tomaszewski tried to cover it up. A shot by Rowe from the top of the near circle comes all the way around the far boards. Quickly trying to fire it ahead. Good job by Friedman to stop a long pass to McNamara. There's a blocker save into the far corner by Tomaszewski. The puck at the far point now rolls on edge all the way from the far boards to the near boards. Racing ahead with it, O'Connell gains the zone. Outside the near circle, he's checked off with the puck, picked up, back behind by Holt as the puck fired back into the neutral zone. Icing waved off as that'll be grabbed by Tomaszewski. Now McNamara picks it up from there. 17 seconds left to go. McNamara over his own blue line, over center ice. McNamara gains the zone. McNamara and poked away back into the neutral zone. 8 seconds left to go. Pioneer with one last chance to try and knock down the lead, and there is going to be a hooking call. And at 3.1 seconds left to go, McNamara goes into the box for hooking. Pioneer will have an abbreviated power play at the end of the second, and if nothing changes, that will be pulled into the third period. Pioneer would love to get a nice goal right off of the face-off here. Try and get some good momentum before going into the second intermission. And puck on the far circle, trying to pull that away. Lifted ahead by Divine Child as they get it out of the zone. And that will do it for the second period, as it is 4-1 Falcons with the lead in that second period It was a goal by Stevens, assist to McNamara, as well as O'Connell at 13:25. Then at 12:26, it was a goal. That one was by Gordon, assist to Stevens and McNamara, and that put it up to a 2-goal lead. A penalty to Pioneer, tripping to Garcia at 3:15. Then it was a goal, Divine Child scoring at 2:29, as it was Domenico firing it in. I couldn't get the assist. Then a penalty, that to Divine Child with 3.1 seconds left to McNamara, and that is where we stand. I'll play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we will be back with your third period action. You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which could only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As now we have our second period intermission scoreboard report. It is 4-1 here at the Taylor Sportsplex as Divine Child Falcons have the lead over your Pioneer varsity men's hockey team. Taking a look at scores in the NHL going on right now, it's 1-1 between the Wild and the Hurricane with 8:11 left to go in the second. Panthers and Canadians battling as Panthers have the 2-0 lead with 8:23 left to go in the second. Again knotted up at 1-1 with 9:44 left to go between the Blackhawks and the Flyers. Flyers on the power play. It's 2-0 Maple Leafs with the lead over the Jets with 7:13 left to go in the second. Blue Jackets have the 1-goal lead over the Ducks 3-2 with 6:53 left to go in the second. Rangers down 2-0 to the Bruins with 7:42 left to go in the second. At the end of one, it's Islanders leading the Sabres 1-0 with 12:01 left to go in the first. It's scoreless between the Predators and the Blues. At 9 o'clock, it's the Oilers hosting the Lightning. Also at 9 o'clock, it's the Coyotes hosting the Capitals. At 10 o'clock, your Red Wings are over at the Golden Knights. Also at 10 o'clock, it's the Kraken hosting the Devils. And at 10:30, it's the Kings versus the Stars. Over taking a look at some NCAA basketball going on in the, taking a look at scores going on right now for the Big Ten. It's Michigan down 3 to Maryland, 47-44 with 10 left to go in the second. Michigan State is leading number 23 Rutgers 62-51 with 2:14 left to go in the second. Let's minimize that to Big Ten. Also, it's Purdue, number 3 Purdue, leading Minnesota 52-29 with 7:27 left to go in the second. And Indiana at Illinois tips off at 8:30. Looking at the Mid-American Conference, as my poor Eagles haven't been doing very well, but 2 games happening. Those are all going to be tomorrow as Kent State hosts Ball State and Buffalo hosts Toledo. Let's play a few more messages from the MHSAA as they have about 1 or 2 more turns around the rink on the ice resurfacing machine, and we will be right back. Pioneer has the 1-minute 56-second power play as we head into the third period, but more importantly, the Falcons have the 3-goal lead. Let's hear again from the MHSAA.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
17 minutes up on the clock as both teams back out of their locker rooms for the all-important third period. As Pioneer down by 3, the Falcons lead 4-1. Pioneer will be on the power play carrying forward from the second period as 1 minute 56 seconds left to go on that power play. Pioneer wants to try and score on the power play and try and cut into that lead, get it down to a 2-goal lead, whereas Divine Child will love to just break this game wide open and try and take any momentum away from Pioneer. Both teams gathered around their coaching staffs, getting last-minute instructions. Pioneer going from right to left here in the third period, as Divine Child going from left to right. Face off right at center ice. As that puck carried down. As for the moment I'm on camera, so my play-by-play might not be as good, but Pioneer has it into the near corner. Trying to pull it out of the near corner. Wilkins has it back behind the goal. And is trying to feed it outside the near circle. Sanborn at the near point. As that puck into the near corner. As sent back, Wilkins into the near corner. Armstrong trying to pull that away. Davis feeds it outside the near circle. Picked up there. Welsh trying to get it out of the zone. Pulled back. Wilkins, top of the near circle. Over on the far circle. Shot there. And good job by Tomaszewski to make that save. Held in by Sanborn. Underneath the near circle. That goes right through the slot. Picked up. Here comes Welsh the other direction. Welsh gains the Pioneer zone. Top of the far circle. Welsh with a shot and a save by Cass. 58 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. 16:02 left to go here in the third. 4-1. Falcons with the lead over Pioneer. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That to Cass's right. As Fawaz in to take the face-off versus Holt the puck. Outside the far circle, sent back to the far point. Atani with a shot. Saved by Cass into the far corner. Rowe trying to get to it. Wouldn't settle down for him. Now into the near corner. Here comes Sutton down the near boards. Avoids pressure by Stevens. Gets over his own blue line. Feeds ahead. O'Connell knocks it right back the other direction. Icing waved off as that was cleared as Pioneer still on the power play. Picked up by Ward coming down the near boards. Over his own blue line. Feeding it ahead to Sutton. Sutton avoiding pressure by Fawaz. He backhands it back and along the end boards. Gathered up by Atani, who fires it into the near corner. Pull back there outside the near circle, trying to feed it back deep as Miller into the far corner. And press outside the far circle where that puck is in along the boards, trying to peel it off the boards. Pioneer as that puck held in. Sutton trying to get to it. Now fired all the way back. Falcons back to full strength. 15 minutes left to go here in the third. Picked up, loose puck, high slot. Now O'Connell, puck wouldn't settle down for him as that's pulled back by Stevens. Fires it over Atani, putting it in along the near boards for O'Connell. Into the Pioneer zone. Friedman has it, top of the near circle, firing it ahead as here comes Garcia, who gains the zone. Garcia, top of the far circle, trying to avoid a pair of Falcons as he has it on that far circle into the slot. Backhanded shot. O'Connell got his stick in the way. Pulled back by Fawaz underneath the near circle. He knocks it into the neutral zone. Fired right back in by Friedman, but Pioneer has to touch up. Sent all the way down the ice. Rowe has it. Back behind his own goal from the far side to the near side. Ricochets it as that'll head all the way down the ice. That will be icing or not as it's picked up back behind. That ahead, tipped right out into the neutral zone. Gathered up. Sanborn trying to knock that away as Zilke had it. Stolen away from Wilkins. Coming the other direction is DeMarco. Into the near corner. Sanborn has it in his own zone, trying to get it ahead to Garcia. Garcia sends a spinning puck over to Armstrong. Armstrong gains his own outside the near circle, through the slot, trying to get it to Wilkins. He couldn't get a stick on it. Trying to hold it in at the near point is Miller, but the puck wouldn't stay there. That banked off of the back of the Divine Child goal. Bringing it ahead is Jordan, who feeds it down to Zelke. Zelke down the far boards, gains the Pioneer zone. On the far circle, Zelke trying to cover out in front, and he puts it in, and a score. Divine Child continues to stretch their lead as Zelke came from the far circle, cut right across the crease, and able to backhand it in as Cass had that far corner, but just couldn't slide quick enough. And Zelke puts it in. I believe that's going to be unassisted at 13:23. And that makes it 5-1. Divine Child with the lead over Pioneer. Cole Mutin in to take the face-off. McNamara on the other side, that puck in along the far boards. Miller trying to chip it ahead, loose right in front of the Pioneer bench. That launched down the far boards into the Pioneer zone, picked up by Cole Mutin. He drifts back behind his own goal, rimming it around the boards. Again, unassisted by Zilke, picked up. Zilke has it back behind the Pioneer goal. Underneath the far circle, that's sent back to the far point. DiDomenico with the shot, blocked on the far circle. Zilke with a shot and a save by Cass. $12:55 left to go here in the third, 5-1. Falcons with the lead. As they announce the 50-50 here, some lucky fan getting a little take-home money. The puck outside the far circle. Cole Mutin trying to fire it out of the zone. Held in there by DiDomenico as the puck into the far corner. Friedman trying to get to it. That poke right back behind Cass. The puck underneath the near circle, coming ahead with it. Here comes Pioneer. As Cole Mutin banks it off the near boards, Armstrong gains the zone. He's ridden off the puck as DiDomenico has it into the near corner. Armstrong goes back behind the goal, firing it. There's a shot and able to knock it down and make a save. Oh, Armstrong found Yang just on the inner corner of the near circle. He fired it in a fantastic save out there by Tomaszewski. 12:23 left to go here in the third. 30 shots on goal by the Falcons, 17 by Pioneer. 5-1. Falcons with the lead. Warden to take the face-off versus Ross in the far face-off circle. Davis is pinned against the boards. Pioneer trying to pull it away as Sutton in there digging. Now coming back behind, here comes Davis down the near boards. Davis gets it into the neutral zone over center ice. Davis gains the Pioneer zone, firing it deep. Racing into the far corner as Edwards trying to pull that away. Sutton trying to battle as well as Ross comes underneath the near circle, trying to fire it out in front. That got deflected off of a pair of skates. Here comes Sutton over center ice. Sutton fires it down. That banks off of the M boards. Davis trying to fire it down the far boards out of the zone. Held in, top of the near circle by Edwards, but that slips all the way ahead. Trying to fire it ahead to Ross, and Ross couldn't quite get his stick on it. That'll be icing and head back into the Divine Child zone. 11:41 left to go here in the third. 5-1, 4-goal lead by Divine Child. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Ward in to take the face-off. Ross on the other side. Wilkins right back behind Ward. The puck outside the near circle as O'Connell trying to dig it in, as well as Sutton. As a quartet of players trying to pull that away, comes back to the near point. Sanborn with a shot. That sticked into the near corner by Tomaszewski. Now O'Connell brings it back behind his own goal. Coming down the far boards, O'Connell over his own blue line. O'Connell over center, fires it all the way down the ice. And into the near corner, tipped back over there by Yang. Trying to hold it in his Ross, now pulled the other direction. Racing ahead with it is Ward. Ward gains the zone outside the near circle. Ward has that poked away, pulling it is Davis, backhanding it into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to touch up, and Sutton just couldn't get over the blue line as the puck fired right at him. Couldn't get out of the way either, and that will be offsides as that will come in the near face-off circle outside of the Divine Child zone. 11 minutes even left to go here in the third. Divine Child with a 5-1 lead. McNamara trying to get that, trying to pull it away versus Holt. As that puck in along the near boards. McNamara trying to feed it ahead. Hudson trying to pull it off of the near boards. Stevens in there as well. Now that's sent back onto the near circle of the Divine Child zone. Jordan feeds it onto the far boards. DiDomenico add to Stevens' own blue line. Down by the far boards. And pulled away. Here comes Pioneer gaining the zone. Garcia outside the far circle, firing it out in front. Stevens knocks it out of harm's way. Stevens rifles it all the way down over to McNamara outside the near circle. McNamara trying to get it as it got stuck in the official skates. McNamara with a shot. As that deflected back, McNamara sends it back behind the Pioneer goal. Outside the far circle, bringing it ahead Here comes Pioneer racing ahead with it is Holt, top of the far circle, trying to move it over to Hudson. That deflects shot. That got knocked away by Stevens. Stevens fires it down the near boards, back into the neutral zone. Over on the far side, Miller fires it in, picked up by Guy DeMarco on the far circle of his own zone. 9 minutes, 53 seconds left to go. Here comes McNamara into the Pioneer zone, top of the near circle. Drop pass over to Stevens with a shot that just misses the near post, just to the near side. Shot, and they sweep it in. Zelke with another goal as the save by Cass, and Cass was sprawled out making the save, and it slipped over. Cass is frustrated, but Zelke puts it in. And Divine Child with the 6-1 lead. 9:42 left to go. Let's see if we can hear the assists on this one, as a couple people trying to knock away at it. Zelke just managed to get it on the near side after Cass had sprawled down on the far side to make the save, and Zelke able to put it in. Go Mutant right at center ice. Again, valiant attempt by Cass, as that top of the far circle poked back into the neutral zone. Sanborn right at the bell tire sign. Stevens gets the assist as the puck on the far side, as a pileup in along the end boards, but able to save it. Tomaszewski able to cover up that puck, and we'll have a face-off in the Divine Child zone. 5-goal lead by the Falcons. Pioneer just trying to make some good things happen, trying to carry that momentum into Jackson. Shot from the far circle, that all the way back to the near point. Trying to hold it in as Sanborn into the near corner, as Armstrong trying to pull it outside of the near circle, sends it in along the end boards. Right through the slot, top of the far circle with a shot that deflects. Now here comes Sanborn outside the near circle, sends that, banked off of the end boards outside the far circle. Battle for it there, trying to pull it away was Armstrong, as the puck comes all the way around outside the near circle. Now we're Yang trying to cycle it back. Armstrong trying to get it in along the end boards. Atani trying to get it out of the zone, battle for it, gathering it up is Yang, who fires it right back behind the Divine Child goal. Trying to lift it off of the end boards was Armstrong, that pulled ahead. Here comes the Falcons as they move it over to Ross, who gains his own in the high slot, but offsides the call. 8:32 left to go. Here in the third, 6-1, Pioneer with the lead. If you want to reach the broadcast, you can on the Harbor Broadcasting website. You can fire off a message or fire it off to harbourbroadcasting@gmail.com. We'll do our best to take a look at those. Probably can't see it during the broadcast, but we do our best. Wilkins banks it off in along the far boards, now bringing it ahead. Here comes Pioneer as Ward trying to get to it. O'Connell fires it the other direction and slips back into the Pioneer zone on edge. As Cass fires it top of the far circle, and into the goal goes Zelke, who had the last 2 goals, and knocks it off of its moorings. They'll get that net stuck back on there. 8:16 left to go here in the third. Face-off in the far face-off circle, as that is Ward in there versus McNamara. The puck loose in a couple of skates, trying to pull it away is Rose, sending it ahead. That comes all the way out to Wilkins. Wilkins gains his own. Top of the far circle with a rocket shot. Glove save as that pulled back, as here comes O'Connell banking it down the near boards. Racing ahead with it, here comes Stevens. Stevens has the zone, top of the near circle. Stevens with a shot. That comes all the way back out into the neutral zone, down the far boards. Atani trying to knock it the other direction. Pioneer gets it in. Now that slips back into the neutral zone. Racing ahead with it is Zelke, who had the last 2 goals for Divine Child. The puck at the near point and pulled away. Racing ahead with it, working hard, is Holt. Coming ahead with it, Stevens fires it all the way back in along the end boards of the Pioneer zone. Friedman has it there, trying to avoid Stevens. Gets it to Sutton outside the far circle. Sutton fires it all the way down. Picked up. Here comes Wilkins racing to get it, as DiDomenico and Wilkins into the near corner. That popped back, top of the far circle, now into the neutral zone. Racing ahead with it is Ross down the far boards. Ross outside the far circle. Ross comes right back through the crease. And that puck comes outside the near circle where McNamara has it. And trying to pull it off the boards is Wilkins. That puck fired back but held in at the near point by Jordan. Now that comes down the near boards. Here comes Wilkins. Wilkins trying to avoid pressure, but that puck loose as Stevens was able to lift Wilkins' stick and start to rush the other direction. Here comes Ross into the Pioneer zone on the far circle. Ross, as Sanborn put him against the wall, avoiding a good shot from the far circle, trying to fire it out ahead. Racing ahead with it is Wilkins. Wilkins moves it over to Garcia on the near circle. Garcia with a wrister save. And Wilkins, his momentum took him just past. That puck coming on the near side. Here comes Ross outside the near circle. Ross battling as the official got the worst of that one. Rowe backhanding it outside the near circle. Garcia coming ahead with it. Over the blue line, racing ahead, Comuton gains his own high slot. Comuton with the shot. That goes all the way up off of the vents in the ceiling. 6:17 left to go here in the third, 6-1. Falcons with the lead, face-off in the far face-off circle at Tomaszewski's left. And here, a couple good opportunities there, just not able to capitalize as the puck top of the far circle, Rowe with the shot. And up into the netting, and they'll drop it again, 6:03 left to go. 10-shot lead, 31 shots by Divine Child, 21 by Pioneer. That part doesn't matter as much as the 6-1 on the scoreboard in favor of the Falcons. That puck on the far circle, brought back over, top of the near circle for Friedman with a shot, and that gobbled up right into the body of Tomaszewski. Able to freeze that, and we'll have the face-off in the near face-off circle. 5:56 left to go here in the third. As that shot by Rowe bouncing into the far corner. Davis with it there. Davis sweeping down the far boards. Davis gets it over the blue line. Davis gains the Pioneer zone. Friedman gets out in front of him. Davis steps back, top of the far circle. Moves it over to O'Connell with the shot. Saved by Cass as Armstrong gets it over to Comuton into the far corner. And lifted all the way down in along the near boards, picked up by O'Connell as that pull back, delayed off sides as Pioneer brings it ahead. Puck loose, Gordon trying to get to it, now racing down. Here comes Rowe down the far boards. Rowe takes a check, and the checker gets the worst of it as down, slow to get up is Gordon. We hope he's all right. See, looks like he's all right. 5:16 left to go here in the third. 6-1, Divine Child with the lead. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Comuton in to take the face-off. On the other side, looks like it's going to be Ross in that far face-off circle. Pioneer getting it down to only a 9-shot lead by Divine Child, but haven't been able to get it past since the first period into the goal. That puck loose on the near circle, bringing it ahead through the neutral zone. Here comes Ross, gaining the Pioneer zone, top of the far circle. Miller trying to send him wide into the far corner. Miller trying to sweep that away as Welsh has it back behind the goal. Shot from the near circle. That goes wide by Ross outside the far circle now. As Fawaz had it pulled away, trying to move it ahead was Comuton. Big collision as Miller goes down. Comuton trying to pop it into the far corner. Now Sanborn back behind his own goal. Rims it all the way back to the far point. Held in there by DiDomenico somehow. As that puck outside the far circle. DiDomenico again with it from the far point. Shot there, Fawaz. Trying to get it out in front, pulled back by Miller underneath his own goal. Miller is poked off of the puck. Now he fires it. That went right off of Ross's skate. Along the near boards, Comuton trying to get to it, but that knocked away by the Falcons into the near corner. Fawaz again sends it that off the side of the net and picked up by Cass. 4:11 left to go here in the third, 6-1. Falcons with the lead. Face-off is going to be in the near face-off circle. That is going to be to Cass's left. Warden to take the face-off versus McNamara. The puck outside the near circle, now into the near corner. As Friedman trying to knock it away. Rowe has it in the far corner of his own zone. That tipped by Zelke, still holding it in by Zelke, and Zelke fires it right back into the Pioneer end. Just under 4 minutes to go. Rowe has it in the far corner, trying to avoid pressure by Stevens. Friedman backhands it into the near corner where Ward starts the rush for Pioneer. Half fired all the way down the ice, racing ahead with it. Wilkins trying to get to it. Atani banks it off of the near boards. Ward had it. That bouncing puck in the slot, pulled back away. Stevens rifles it all the way down the ice. That will be icing. 3:32 left to go here in the third. 5-goal lead by Divine Child. Again, our next Pioneer game will be at 4 o'clock at Jackson at Optimist Ice Arena. James Wiseman will have a abbreviated play-by-play call, and we'll have full video on that. We'll have the Pioneer men's JV basketball games and varsity basketball games versus Huron tomorrow. The puck in the slot, coming over. Sutton with a shot and a save. As Toma Shifke able to make the save on a shot just on the inner corner of that far circle. 3:24 left to go here in the third. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That puck outside the far circle. Wilkins with it. Wilkins trying to fire it ahead. That pulled. Here comes McNamara sending it ahead. That tip, pulling it in. McNamara on the near circle as Friedman trying to knock it away. Sticked away by Cass, but a penalty upcoming. The Pioneers, that's going to be a holding call to Friedman. At 3:09. Friedman goes into the box. Pioneer down a player. Face off in the far face off circle. As Armstrong in to take the face-off versus Stevens. That into the far corner. Rolls on edge all the way back out into the neutral zone. Domenico at his own blue line. Brings it back, fading back, top of the far circle, trying to avoid pressure by Armstrong. Now coming down the near boards. Divine Child as Stevens hands it outside the near circle. Down, lifted all the way back into the neutral zone. Domenico again fades back to his own blue line. That intercepted coming in. Here comes Armstrong. Armstrong with a backhanded attempt that goes wide into the near corner. 1 minute 30 seconds left to go in the Pioneer penalty kill. 2:35 left to go here in the third. As brought in, the puck loose on the near circle, fired in along the far boards. Gathered up there by Armstrong, who rifles it all the way down. That'll go deep into the Divine Child zone. Gathered up by Yang, back behind, trying to pull it away from O'Connell. O'Connell brings it down the far boards of his own zone, over his own blue line, feeds it right to center ice. That knocked down, trying to get to it, Mutant and Stevens battling, right at the Bell Tire logo. That tipped back into the Divine Child zone. Mutant trying to grab it, that pulled away by Jordan, as Ward trying to get it away from Jordan. Jordan gains the Pioneer zone, top of the far circle. That knocked away. Good defensive play by Edwards to put it right back into the neutral zone. 37 seconds left to go. On the advantage for the Falcons as Zilke tips it, and that fired all the way down by Sanborn. 1:37 left to go here in the third. Bringing the puck ahead. That fired. Now here comes Domenico in the high slot. Shot that got deflected into the near corner. Pulled there. Sanborn trying to fire it out of the zone. That into the near corner as Ross trying to get to it. That knocked out all the way back to the Falcons blue line. 7 seconds left to go in the Pioneer penalty kill as that puck into the far corner. Pioneer back to full strength. 1:07 left to go here in the third as racing ahead. The puck in along the far boards. Mutant backhands it in along the near board. Sanborn trying to get to it, but that fired right back in by Howard as he puts it back behind the Pioneer goal. As Gordon into the near corner, fires it onto the near circle. Pioneer gets it back out into the neutral zone with 46 seconds left to go. That puck in along the far boards. Jordan has it there, bringing it ahead over center ice. Fires it deep and pulled into the near corner by Wilkins. Wilkins goes back behind Cass. And along the far board, stolen away by Ross. Ross back behind the Pioneer goal. Now onto the near circle. Feeds it top of the near circle for Davis with a shot. That goes wide. 23 seconds left to go. Tip back into the far corner. Centering attempt. Cass gets a stick on it outside the near circle. 16 seconds left to go. That pulled ahead. Here comes Sutton over center. Sutton gains his own. Poke checked away from him. Now Ross the other direction. Battle for it, picked up. Sutton has it, moving it back to Wilkins. 4 seconds left to go. The puck all the way down the ice. That'll be stopped, and that will do it. Pioneer Falls Finers scores 6-1. Divine Child with the win. Pioneer will be back in action Sunday at 4 o'clock. That will be from Optimist Ice Arena in Jackson. Please make it down and cheer on the team. We will have a broadcast, James Wiseman, on the play-by-play on that one at 4 o'clock. We will be from the Pioneer main gym tomorrow, 5:30 for the Pioneer JV basketball team versus Huron, around 7 o'clock for the Pioneer men's varsity basketball team versus Huron. And we'd appreciate everyone coming out and cheering for that. If you want to check out some Michigan women's hockey, they have a game on Saturday and Sunday at Yost Ice Arena versus Penn State. Thank you to everyone for cheering on and watching these teams. For my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you. Have a fantastic rest of your night.